The alarms were raised all over the island from the moment the news was released that multiple Indominus Rex had been spotted on the island. How was this possible? Because the dinosaurs were created with frog DNA, it explained why other dinosaur species had thrived on the island and were able to produce offspring. But for this process, one still had to have at least 2 dinosaurs present. That was not the case at first with the Indominus Rex. When scientists took a closer look at the database concerning the details on which species the hybrid consisted of, the answer was found. Though the Indominus Rex was a hybrid between multiple dinosaurs, it had also been implemented with DNA of other animals, including tree frogs, cuttlefish, and more. These explain some of the I-Rex's attributes, like the ability to camouflage. Now, though it was rare, there have been documented evidence that there are certain types of animals that can breed and produce offspring without the need of a male. Amongst those animals are stick insects, certain lizards, sawfish, and also snakes, including the pit viper snake, which was used in the creation of the Indominus Rex. The pit viper snake has the ability to produce offspring through a process labeled parthenogenesis. The scientists believed that this explained the Indominus having produced offspring, but also explained why the rangers had not been able to find the Indominus at her regular hunting grounds. She most likely looked for a secure location to raise her children until they were big enough to hunt on their own. The amount of Indominus young had still need to be determined, but up until now, at least 5 had been counted for. Initially, the young were of an old enough age to where the mother would let them hunt in areas like the swamp. The younglings never strayed too far from one another, but they did show signs of independence. When they would feel hungry, they would individually go after a certain prey instead of waiting to be served. With this behavior, the scientists noted down something remarkable. Though the mother taught the young to kill, they interpreted this only as killing for food, while she still continued to kill other dinosaurs for no reason. A somewhat normal raising in the natural environment contributed to this, many believed. Because of that, the Indominus younglings fitted in perfectly with the island's ecosystem and creature hierarchy. Therefore, it was not long after that a statement was released that the Indominus younglings could thrive on the island as equals to all the other dinosaur species with the exception of the mother. For now, the Rangers' main mission was still to take her out. The Indominus Rex that was facing the Indoraptor was one of these offspring. One could clearly see that this was indeed not the cruel Indominus they were looking for. It had not even learned how to properly fight. The targeting mechanism had already been instated for the Indoraptor to attack. Therefore, the attack could not be called off, and the Indominus youngling was no match for the fighting-bred Indoraptor. The mother had been sighted at the plains amongst the herbivores of the large herd. She had walked here alone, but some of her young ones followed her in pursuit to see what she was doing. The apprehensive behavior at first made it clear to the scientists that this was their first time that they had come to the plains. For the moment, the mother was not showing signs of aggressive or cruel behavior. She was thirsty, and more of her offspring crept closer as they were curious to all these dinosaurs gathered together. It would seem that when the Indominus' basic needs took over, it was the only time where she seemed to fit in the ecosystem of the island. A few of the young did not dare come close to the mother, meaning that maybe the mother had shown some aggressiveness even to her own younglings at a certain age, much like some modern animals do. But soon after, the mother's true nature indeed showed itself as the killing resumed. Often a kill she would make would be left on the ground to rot, as she was quickly searching for another target. Her young once again were different. Every kill they made, they ate afterward, and would only do so when they were hungry. The group of carnivores had also been noticed by all of the herbivores, and they all cramped up even more to seem like one big unit. Others demanded an Indominus be bred with the same targeting mechanism being implemented to control it to the human's will. But in the end, it seemed nature would come to their aid. As the ground began to shake and tremble, a Tyrannosaurus Rex was approaching, many thought. Much like the gladiator battle back at the park, the T-Rex would surely be able to win again, though that Indominus Rex had not seen or participated in any battles beforehand. But what ran out of the jungle was no T-Rex, and in fact, a dinosaur that had officially not been instated in the park yet back in the day. It was a Giganotosaurus, bigger than a T-Rex, and it seemed out for war. The bright color pattern showcased its dominance in that it was able to catch and devour prey without the need to rely on camouflage. As it saw the Indominus, it even taunted it, angering the Indominus to trigger it to attack. The battle that followed was fierce, and not as one-sided as the previous ones involving the Indoraptor. Though the Giganotosaurus made a fearsome impression, the Indominus held its own for a long while. But in the end, the ferocious jaws of the Giganotosaurus were so powerful and intimidating that the Indominus actually decided to flee. This was witnessed by her young, acknowledging to them that they were now truly independent. She ran a couple of meters, but was soon pursued by the Giganotosaurus that would not let her get away. She had to make her stand here and now, and a winner would be decided. It was almost as if the island itself was against her. But the Indominus stood alone. Her times of terror were up. She had produced children that would now be interwoven in their natural habitat and play their natural role. She was the only aberration left, and with a loud snap from the jaws of the Giganotosaurus, the Indominus was finally killed off. With the Indominus' reign of terror finally coming to a close, things would return to normal over the next couple of weeks. The young ones would find their place amongst the others, and dinosaurs would thrive even more on the island than before. It was now the question what role the humans would play in all this. There were some who vowed to rebuild Jurassic Park, even bigger and better than before. Then there were others who said it would be best to leave the dinosaurs be and let life find a way of its own. And then one person stood up who thought of something that would appease both those groups. It was decided that in a couple of weeks, plans would be made to create the first ever dinosaur safari park. Hey everybody, and thank you so much for watching all the way through Season 2 of my Jurassic World narrative series. Some of you indeed pointed out how quickly this came after Season 1, and one main reason for this is that the final episode in Season 1 was watched so incredibly well that it became my most popular video of all time. I was very happy to see this series that initially was not very successful, with every episode only having around 2,000 or 3,000 views, become such a beloved series on the channel. I was also happy that I was able to do something very different in Season 2 than I did with Season 1. Where Season 1 was really all about the park, this was more about the dinosaurs in their natural habitat, showing off the different biomes, and then of course the introduction of the Indoraptor into the story. Now with Season 2 being over, I am also happy to announce that Season 3 will arrive, but I will take a little bit of a break from the game for a couple of weeks, think about maybe a month or so. It's just to keep my creativity fresh and try out some other narrative series. If you do like dinosaurs and want to see other cool cinematics on my channels, then please check out the Planet Ark cinematic series, of which the first 3 episodes are already on my channel. Also, a reason for the break is to see what direction Jurassic World Evolution is exactly going. With the park building simulator, there's only so much you can do, even from a creative standpoint. A safari park is something we haven't done yet, and would prove to be a cool mix between Season 1 and 2, and also has the opportunity for some dinosaurs that have not been shown yet, like the Allosaurus, to play a major role in the story. Currently I have 4 episodes in my head ready for Season 3, and I hope to be able to create one more to reach 5. But I have to admit that after that, I hope that the creators of the game will have released some new DLC that has some new dinosaurs, or have added mod support. As long as the creators keep adding more and more dinosaurs, including maybe new types like water or flying ones, we can have new seasons exploring those and highlighting these awesome new creatures from beautiful camera angles. Anyway, like I always do with these cinematic series, in a couple of days I will be uploading the entire Season 2, meaning it will be an hour-long video. Please share this with those of the Jurassic World Evolution community, as it does help the channel out a lot and hopefully gets more people to watch this series. If there are any other dinosaur type series that you think would make awesome cinematics on this channel, then please also let me know. I already had requests to do videos on the game The Isle, but that is a multiplayer only game, making it a bit difficult to make engaging cinematics. I saw that there are other dinosaur theme park games out there too, and if you guys want to see any of those, that can be done as well. Finally, I want to thank all of you guys for your support throughout the series, and I'm happy that it got picked up and that it brings you all so much joy on what happens on the island. We will take a short little break, but we will be back with exciting new stories in Season 3. In the meantime, please have a look at some of the other cinematics I have to offer on the channel, and I will see you guys next time on Jurassic World.